that you were just desperate for their approval. I don't know why you did what you did. Or you had such maybe an inferiority complex about those Europeans and about those Americans that you were just desperate for their approval. I don't know why you did what you did. Wallahi, I don't understand it. But you were fools to do it. And you ought to realize that now. You ought to realize that the people who hated you, ever since they even knew about you, they didn't suddenly have a change of heart. No, they hated you then and they hate you now. And they have hated you the whole time while they were watching you and cheering you as you got yourselves trapped into a situation that you can't get out of. Because that's the situation that you're in. That's your situation right now. You're in a situation that you cannot get yourselves out of, and that's a fact. There's no viable exit for you now. I mean, think it through. I don't think you are. You know, I told you more than a year ago that they were egging you on to do things that were absolutely and irredeemably destroying your reputation as a people, as a nation. I mean, the damage is irreversible. Tens of thousands of people killed, innocent people killed in Gaza, 50,000. By the time that they actually have the real numbers, by the time we know the real numbers, you and I both know it's going to be over 100,000 people that you've murdered. More than that, probably, that you've slaughtered. So you see what they've done. They've turned you from being victims of their Holocaust against you into perpetrators of genocide. Look at that. What makes you think that the perpetrators of the Holocaust are not just trying to retroactively justify their crimes by turning you into genocidal monsters? You ought to think more deeply. I mean, do you understand that no one feels sorry for you now? That was your currency before, but no one feels sorry for you now. I mean, they're putting out AI English translations of Hitler on YouTube, and it doesn't get taken down. It gets shared. They've got people who used to say things quietly amongst themselves now saying out loud that Hitler had a point. And maybe he did what he did for a good reason. Imagine. We're not even talking about Holocaust denial anymore. We're talking about Holocaust justification being normalized because of your actions. That's because of nothing but your actions, Israel's actions. It's because of the genocide. It's because of the unhinged, unrestrained, illegal violence that you've committed across every border in the region, attacking Syria, attacking Lebanon, attacking Iran, attacking Iraq, attacking Yemen. Your great American and your great European cheerleaders have applauded you and have funded you into damnation. Do you understand me? They have applauded you and they have funded you until you now have become a hideous spectacle of a nation that the whole world despises. And you think that these are your friends. Until now. You think that these are your friends who saved you from the Nazis. Well, they're not doing anything but carrying on what Hitler left off, where Hitler left off. But they just made their approach more sophisticated. You know, Hitler used an axe and they use a scalpel. They've ruined you. I'm surprised that you can't see it. I mean, after more than 600 days of inhuman savagery in Gaza, I mean inhuman brutality, all of it live streamed. When the most bigoted, the most, neo-Nazi white supremacist, openly Jewish-hating demagogue, after all of that, when he claims that your people are satanic and demonic, well, what's a good-hearted person supposed to say after what we've seen? I said they've turned you from Holocaust victims into genocidal killers in the public mind. All the blood that you're spilling is only whitewashing them of what they did to you for centuries. Can't you see that? You're justifying what they did to you. And because you insisted that Israel and Judaism are one and the same thing, that only ensures that every Jew now is going to bear the shame and bear the blame and bear the ignominy of what Israel has done and what Israel is doing. That only ensures that every Jew now is going to bear the shame and bear the blame and bear the ignominy of what Israel has done and what Israel is doing. Oh, they've got you boxed in. And you let them box you in. I mean, look, Iran, let's talk about Iran. Let me tell you about your situation, your Iran situation. First of all, your whole claim, all these decades, your whole rationale for why the United States had to keep giving you money, had to keep giving you weapons, why you were useful to launder American taxpayer money into the military-industrial complex, right? Why no one is supposed to object to that. No one is supposed to object to the billions and billions of dollars of their money that went to your so-called defense instead of to their own schools, instead of to their own hospitals, their own roads, their own bridges, their billions and billions of dollars of their money that went to your so-called defense instead of to their own schools, instead of to their own hospitals, their own. No one is supposed to object to the billions and billions of dollars of their money that went to your so-called defense instead of to their own schools, instead of to their own hospitals, their own roads, their own bridges, their own infrastructure. The whole reason that everyone was supposed to go along with that, without any complaint, was because you were supposed to be in perpetual existential crisis, because you were surrounded by hordes of angry Arabs who wanted to drive you into the sea, angry, violent Muslims. So you were constantly under threat. And because, of course, people thought of you as Holocaust victims. So, of course, we have to protect you.
Well, I don't know what the rest of the world looks at it, but I'm sure that most people that have faith and they believe onto that book, they think you're the people. So you have to do what the people would do. You've already skipped over the Lord, bringing you back home somehow, and nobody's seen it. It's okay. You still have to do the law and stuff. And if you don't, everybody's going to hate you.
American people have to protect you, even if that really just means protecting defense industry profits. But the rationale worked. The rationale worked because everyone thought, poor little Israel was surrounded and in danger. Okay, Egypt made peace with you. Jordan made peace with you. Turkey made peace with you. The UAE made peace with you. Bahrain made peace with you. Sudan made peace with you. Morocco made peace with you. Now even Saudi Arabia say that they're willing to make peace with you. Lebanon is willing to make peace with you. Syria is willing to make peace with you. Even Indonesia, the most populous Muslim country in the world, on the other side of the world, they're also willing to make peace with you. Hezbollah has been decapitated. And even Hamas is willing to step down. And they're willing to step aside, which means, in practical terms, disarming and disbanding and letting another authority take over Gaza. Another authority who will be willing to negotiate peace with you. So there's nobody left that you can claim threatens you except for Iran. And now, apparently, you're acting like you want to dismantle even that alleged threat. So no one's going to be left now to even justify why anyone needs to protect you anymore. I mean, I know you're trying to resuscitate ISIS in Syria, and you started that dumb little militia in Gaza, that Abu Shabab, or whatever his name is. Obviously, this isn't going to go anywhere. This is ridiculous. So you think now that you want to go to war with Iran. You want to go after Iran, which you know you cannot defeat on your own. Your own people have said as much. Your own officials, your own military have said as much. You know that you need America to do that. But you understand, America entering the war means regional war. And you are in the region. I know you don't care about what happens to any other country in the region, but if a regional war kicks off, you better believe that Iran is going to unload everything they have on you. And if you think that America is going to be worried about protecting you in that scenario, you are sorely mistaken.
Well, I don't know politics, so I don't even know this guy. But I say it's the same equivalent as the United States citizens feel about police. You're gonna call them, and you're gonna wait about a good half an hour because they're so far away. You know what I mean? The United States is all the way over here, so that would mean we would have to, be ready. And I don't really think Americans are really ready for that. I don't even think Americans want to even do things like that. So, I don't know. But you know, soldiers are soldiers. Once you sign that contract, you don't get a choice. But what I've realized watching these new cadets, see, my father had me like traveling around, and you know, like these last two generations, even my generation, they're not built for no real shit. When I think about how we beat our chests and we lost to Vietnam, and then I think about how Rambo-like all those men were, you know? Even though they probably wasn't all like Rambo, but you know what I mean? They was still, at least they came from the time of wanting to bust skulls, and it was normal to be a soldier. Now, no one wants to, not even soldiers want to fight. You know what I mean? Because of all the wars and not getting anything for it. You know, like all those Vietnam guys, they're like, they're nobodies. Everybody knows that if you went to Vietnam, more than likely you came home and there was really not much waiting for you. You know? So those veterans are mad. The Afghani fight after 9/11, all of those dudes are fucking psychotic and they're fucking pissed off because they're like, yo, I didn't sign up to go patrol the oil field. I thought I was coming to like liberate, and I didn't know I was fucking. This is bullshit, you know. So like, I don't really follow too much. I'm talking about actually talking to these people, meeting old ass veteran niggas that are still alive, and saying, "Fuck this place. I gave my all, and they gave me nothing." Then younger ones from the Afghan come back. Yeah, I fucking went crazy over there. I did the I'm crazy thing. Cause I realized this is bullshit. So I got myself out. Now I'm homeless cause I got discharged. You know what I mean? Like when like I'm not a warrior myself, but I'm like Jacob. I like to stay in the house and study things. Like war. And morale is one of the most important things of a war, and the basic living of a warrior, like there's some type of structure. I don't think there's so many brave soldiers, and I will not front on all the real dudes that are here. But for every real dude that's here, they either don't want to fight because they got a family, and if they leave, and you know, like America's unsafe right now, so it's like most people are trying to protect what they got, and then they're complaining because they can't afford to protect what they got. So it's like you want people to come go fight, and they're broke and already have in their mind there's no future. So what am I gonna go fight and make sure my future ends early and my kids and families unprotected? I don't think too many men are gonna want to do that. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a real big gap in between men and women now. So there's a lot of men that don't have, women and kids. We definitely don't want to fight. We've been fighting against trying to fucking just get level ground, get decent jobs, and we're fighting just to fucking breathe, have regular shit. What do I look like? I just did fucking 42 years of fighting and get a regular ass job. You think I would want to go and fight? No. You know? The draft thing that I know is gonna mandatory. This ain't back in the day, dog. You can put a lot of niggas in them suits, but you're not understanding this new generation and accepting the level of, I'll go batshit crazy until you send me home. And if you want to take me out, so what? When you send me out there, I'm not built to go out there. I'm going to never come back. I'm gonna not, you know? And that's what I mean by the warrior shit. Like the 30s, the 60s. These men were either idiots, and alcohol helped, or they had that pride thing that I have something to fight for. there's good jobs, and there's a fucking family to come back to, and there's fucking opportunity. The average American doesn't even fucking want to work for their country, let alone go to war for it. It's like, what the fuck are you niggas thinking? I really don't. That's why I'm like, I don't know why in the world that the United States want to keep beefing with people, because you just don't have the reserves. I could be wrong. I'm just some stupid black guy. I don't fucking see everything or whatever, but I know my morality to fight is crushed. Besides the basic training, the food's all fucked up. You know what I mean? What the fuck? When you come to get reserved, the reserves are fat, lazy niggas that are fucked up on plastic water. Demoralized by their own women. You know what I mean? Like, at least back in the day, niggas had a fucking reason to want to go fight when you didn't even have a wife or kid. You were like, well, I'm fighting to protect all these motherfucking women that I love in this motherfucker. Now, it's like, I'm fighting for what? For love, I'm gonna keep these bitches alive that don't even know I exist, don't even give a fuck if I breathe? You kidding me?
The only thing that America is going to care about protecting, if that happens, is their own bases and their own interests in the Gulf. They're going to defend Saudi Arabia. They're going to defend the UAE. They're going to defend Qatar, because Iran is going to strike them too. No one's going to be trying to save you. Why should they? You don't have oil. You don't control vital shipping routes. What do you have? Your whole economic model is parasitic. And Donald Trump, remember, Donald Trump is transactional, so think that through. The GCC gives him billions, I mean even potentially trillions of dollars. Meanwhile, Israel does nothing but beg for money.
I don't really know how all that goes, but I do know we've been all watching the last couple of days with a certain file not coming out, and I keep hearing about how somebody's fucking Agent Keener. And, I don't think that trick's gonna work. I think, Trump said, nah. Ain't gonna be doing none of that, man. I played division.
No one wants to protect you. If America enters the war, you ought to understand that it will only make things worse for you, not better. Can't you see that? Tel Aviv is going to be flattened. Your ports will be vaporized. You know, your little natural gas fields are going to be on fire. Your cities will be demolished. And yes, your people are going to flee. I mean, they're fleeing already. They're fleeing already by the tens of thousands. Some say 100,000 already sailed off on boats and yachts to Cyprus. They're all escaping the possibility that maybe they'll be hit by an Iranian rocket after just 1 week of conflict. Or you must be out of your mind.
Like, for me, I hope none of this happens. Like, honestly, because, you know, people getting hurt and everything. But the way the world has been going, it's like a story or something. It's like watching a movie, except you can't really. It's like watching the greatest movie. Like, remember when you used to watch movies and they weren't all the same, so you kind of didn't see what was gonna happen. You know what I mean? I guess that's the beauty of life. It's like a movie, but you can never really know what's gonna happen, I guess. I don't know.
Do you think that America entering the war and escalating the war is going to be good for you in any way whatsoever? They want to finish you. Don't you understand that? Look, construction in your country, in Israel, has already stopped. It already stopped 600 days ago. When your buildings get damaged, they're staying damaged. Do you understand?
Never heard of that.
Do you have any idea how much more damage Iran can absorb than you can absorb? Their country is 70 times larger than you. 70 times. Their army is at least 4 times larger than you. And their soldiers aren't on TikTok. They're not quitting. They're not refusing to serve. They're not getting taken off duty for mental problems. They're not committing suicide. They're not killing themselves. No, it doesn't even matter how much damage America could potentially do to Iran. You cannot sustain a fraction of what Iran can sustain, and that's just a fact. If this goes on for even just 6 months, you're looking at an economic toll on your economy of upwards of $165 billion. That's 35% of your GDP. Double that if it goes on for a year, and it can go on for a year. If it's a full-blown war and Iran starts to get replenishments of their artillery from Russia, China, North Korea, whatever, and if they reactivate their proxies, oh yes, it can go on. And yes, the fact of the matter is that your people all have somewhere else to go when things get bad. Iranians don't. You understand? Iranians don't even have to carry out a mass casualty attack in Israel. They don't have to focus on that. All they have to do is land one rocket in one building, and everyone in every apartment of that building is on a plane to New York. They're on a plane to Paris or to Moscow. They can literally depopulate your whole country just by targeting infrastructure. Because at the end of the day, you're all pampered Westerners, after all. You're not trying to live without Wi-Fi and cappuccinos. You know it and I know it. You're not ready to die for the Zionist cause. I mean, be serious. And then there's the fact that, what do you think happens if they escalate the war? What do you think happens when American soldiers start dying for you? Listen, Americans don't even want to see American soldiers overseas supposedly dying for their own country. In Iraq, in Afghanistan, wherever else, according to the rationale that they give their soldiers and their soldiers' families. You notice that they didn't even send their own soldiers to go and fight in Ukraine against their arch enemy, Russia. I mean, firstly, what on earth makes you think that they're even going to be willing to fight and die for you when they don't even want to send their soldiers, like I said, to go fight and die, supposedly, for their own country, you know, in various military engagements around the world?
I'm gonna end it there. Like, I think people around the world are really getting tired of fighting. You know what I mean? Because usually wars are started by people that have power and money and fought by poor people. And, you know, like, since the conception of America, it's been fighting. Like, when I actually looked it up and seen someone actually make a documentary on it, and I was like, holy fucking shit, this is like impossible. Like, when I first heard it, I was like, no, because, you know, I'm privileged enough to not have had to go. We're all privileged enough to, you know, not even think about it while it's actually happening for other people. Now, as I seen that, like, since the conception, there's not even a 10-year period where there's not war going on either. We're either fighting each other in a civil war or fighting someone else. And I said, yo, how long can a country of people do this before the people, no matter what the fuck no one's saying, how long before they just get tired and just be like, I don't even care what we're fighting for, I'm not fighting anymore. I need at least 50 years break. I need a break. You know what I mean? Especially when eventually you don't even know what you're fighting for. And you can't give the same old reasons from like 1950. They're them bombs and they da. Yo, dog, we see niggas flying drones and talking about opening portals. You can at least come up with some comic book shit and say, they're like Dr. Doom, they fucking have fucking teleportation devices. At least make some fucking shit up. Cause saying a nuclear bomb when everyone knows everyone has nukes, so no one wants to use them no more because that's the end of all of us. And no matter how much anyone hates each other, we all want to still be here. Can we take 100 years break and get back to the show? All love, all praise to the Most High.